Alright, we're back with the last and final video. We got the old washing machine over here ticking away. Now, I've done a few things because I needed some me time. I went ahead, we popped in 4 OEM Denso long life spark plugs. I took out perhaps one of the dirtiest air filters of all time. I think this one was completely used to its max. The engine thanks me. Of course, we installed a Quality Napper Gold, not a sponsor, and then I also replaced the serpentine belt. I feel much better now. Plugs are done, air filter's done, belt's done. Again, got it over here running, warming up because I have to do a service on the engine. Checked all the other fluids. It's all a go. So let's get this party started. And honestly, folks, sometimes that's all I need. I think sometimes that's all we all need. It's just a little break, a little me time, a little quiet time, whatever you want to call it. Just to not be making a video, not be talking to people. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I like to just work and be alone, be left alone. No customers, no helping Josh, no talking to Mrs. O, no talking to my camera, no talking to myself. Just me and the car as one. Mindless, just doing my thing. And quite honestly, the plugs were, you know, they're a gravy job in this car. Belt, air filter, all pretty standard stuff most folks could do with a basic tool set and a Haynes manual. Pretty basic maintenance items. And we're going to let this oil drizzle out of there when we finish up the rest of the items. Ooh, smells pretty gassy. Get a whiff of that. Have a whiff of that one. It stinks pretty bad. So we'll let that drizzle out. And where were we? I think we had to adjust the parking brake shoes yet. We had to change the front sway bar links. We'll get them done. And there was something else we had to do. Oh, we had to bleed out that rear brake caliper. And then my boy Josh helped me bleed this out. Now we've already gravity bled it, so it shouldn't take much at all. Go ahead and push it down, Josh. Up. Down. Up. Down. All right, that's good, Josh. Take our hose off there. So I did have a viewer, a Facebooker, one of them. So somebody had sent me a message and says, you know, how do you stop the air from going in when you're gravity bleeding them? Well, folks, that's the advantage of gravity. So when I use that term that we gravity bleed, so let's say, you know, for example, you put a new caliper on or a new brake line or whatever, make sure the master cylinder is full, take the cap off the master cylinder, and then just open up your bleeder, you know, because this is at, you know, the highest point in this system, and the fluid's going to flow and come through via gravity, and just let it go until it starts dripping out of the bleeder, dripping out pretty steady, and honestly, after that happens, what I usually do is I close the bleeders, I go in, I pump up the brake pedal, get all the pistons to come out, and then I'll crack it back open, let it gravity bleed for a little bit more, then close it. And quite honestly, after that, there's very little air left in the system. But I still go through, you know, a couple pedal pumps, crack it open, and then, you know, let it bleed out. But gravity bleeding is pretty effective, especially if you're, you know, at it by yourself. And now that that is done, we need to roll this around where we can see our adjuster. And I'm going to reach through it on our star wheel. And I'm just going to start flicking her up. I want to take her all the way out until these parking brakes are super tight in the back. I want to make sure everything is equalized. The shoes have come out. They're all equal. It's locked right up right now. Now we're going to back her off a few clicks. Pretty much the same amount of clicks that we just took it in. I'm going to bring her off just a smidge more. So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to go do the other side. Hopefully I hit record in the right spot, but we just adjusted the brake on the other side. If not, because I looked at my camera and it was recording when it shouldn't have been. Imagine that. I'm going to reach through here. get these set of shoes adjusted all the way out. What's interesting is this side is adjusting quite a bit more than the other side. Let's see here. I'm gonna go have a gander at the other side there, just make sure everything's okay. Alright, so this one's adjusted all the way up. We're gonna back her back off. Hopefully it didn't do something wrong on the other side. Back her off a few clicks here. I'm gonna go double check my other side real quick. This is why it pays to be observant. So something did happen over here. My adjuster is actually not all the way up in its slot where it's supposed to be in the bottom of the brake shoe. So I'm gonna back it back off. I'm gonna come to the side a little bit, see if I can't pick up the adjuster. There it goes. I just heard it click, I think. Make sure both sides are still in. No, that side popped down a little bit. Let me get a little smaller screwdriver. I think I'm in good shape now. So now this one should adjust out further like the other side. I should have put some spring tension on them when I first put them in, but I didn't. All right, now we're cooking with fire. Lesson learned, folks. If something doesn't seem right, go back and double check. That side's in. I know you guys can't see it in there, but that side's in. So there's little notches in the bottoms of the brake shoes that the adjuster clicks into, and this one actually slid down a little bit. Okay, now we've got some thread showing. Now we'll back her back off. Which this could have been bad because the adjuster technically could have fallen out over time and ruined all of our new work. Make sure that one's in. That one's in. Okay, so that feels good. Now let's go underneath and adjust the cable. So to make sure, I'm going to give that a pull. They don't actuate very far. Give that a pull. Then I'm going to go in the back and make sure that they're released. That side's released. You guys believe me. That side's released. So now all we want to do is we want to take up the slack out of the cable down here without putting tension on them. In order to do that, we need a couple of 12s, just like we backed it off. So we'll hook a 12 on there, hook one on there, and then we'll have to go up inside and check the foot brake, make sure it works as it should. Definitely don't want to get these too tight. See, a lot of folks, if the parking brake's not working correctly, they'll come under here and they'll tighten up the cable, which is the wrong thing to do. You want to use the adjusters in the back to adjust your parking brake cable. I think if we look back on the footage, we'll see that where this ends up is not going to be where it was. I don't want to take that too tight. Let me go make sure they're still free back here. Yep, that one's free. That one's free. Let's check the foot brake in the vehicle. Foot brake applying apparatus. It's a push on, push off style. Make sure it holds. First we'll have to check this with the vehicle under power. That side's locked up. I'm sure the other side is too. More importantly, does it release? And it does. That side feels good. Come on over here. That side released good. beautiful. We want to protect what we've done. Got a fresh Canada film, so we'll douche down our cables up there. And then of course we'll come We'll hit the back of our backing plates. We'll get the park and brake mechanism up there. The whole car could use a good douching of this, to be honest with you. But we mostly wanted to protect this stuff up here. Back side of our bearing. You can't over douche with the fluid film, trust me folks. I've pretty much drowned in my truck in this stuff. And it just loves it, loves it, loves it, loves it. And it keeps it shiny. Well, actually it keeps it greasy underneath. It's actually quite a mess underneath my truck. But you know what? It's a mess, but it's not a rust mess. I'd rather be waddling through the sheep wool than changing brake lines and gas lines and everything else. I put it on way thicker than they tell you to. That's okay. The fluid film loves me. The people love me. The sheep, maybe not so much. Oh, that was not epic. There we go. Oh, I take a big hit of 100% oxygen. Get it flowing through my veins. Get your specs on. We're gonna do the sway bar links. I don't like meddling with trying to get the nut off the bottom, so we take it off the old-fashioned way. Now, if you're not handy with a torch, don't do that because you could cut through the sway bar itself, which would be bad. So you don't want to do that. Code red. That should be cut through both halves of that nut. Let's see, let's get something I'm missing. Oh, here's one. Get us a tapping apparatus. See if we can't just knock it off. There we go. So, save the stud, man. So that one's off. Now this side, this is an aftermarket sway bar link. We could have held on to that with a, oh gosh, where's my words today? A wool wrench? There we go. Now naturally, you wouldn't be able to move this unless you chopped the one off the other side, which I already did. So now, that'll make assembly a lot easier because we can pull it down, put both of our bottom links on, you know, with some power tools, and then we can pick it up, put our top links on and use some power tools there. I'm all about not using the manual tools. Got that loose, I think. It's probably 18 back there. Oh, look at that. I think therefore it is. So the other thing you can do if you don't have a cutting torch at home, you can't borrow one from a neighbor or a friend, you can unhook the top and then, you know, push the bottom down and work on the bottom with power tools. This side would have been okay because it has a flat. The other side is still OEM, no flat. You're in there with vice grips and you're mad, you're throwing things. Got the left side on. Sides of them things there. Not that size, fella. Let's see, we've got another socket in here. That size either. I think we've got it now. Then you got to use a thin wrench behind them. You don't want a big fat wrench back here, otherwise it'll go into the boot. A boot. It's a Canadian word. There. Thought I had the right size. So it looks like 17 in the back and 18 or so in the front. Give her a couple whacks with the Ugga Dugga gun. And that side is good, then we do the other side. Line that up in the strut. Baby. Yes, baby. So once that's in, I don't know, can you guys see? Probably can't see over here, but frankly, I need to stand here. And then we got to try to get it line. Oh, look at that. Right where I needed it. 3 little brops, well, ugga-duggas, and then that's it. So that's the easy way to do them. Come on over here, come right next to Bob. So that's the easy way to do it. Like I say, if you don't have a torch, unhook the top first, slide it down so you can get it underneath the vehicle. You could always, you know, if they're super rusty, you could use a Sawzall, grinder, C4, anything really. Front wheels are bolted on. Now we're gonna go through and protect our investment here on the front. Whoa, hang on there, fellas. Let's spray down the back of our new backing plate there. Give her a little sheep wool. And we'll douche down the sway bar link we installed. Just don't want our parts getting rusty real fast. Well, you guys can't see crap, can you? I really need to up my game in the videography department. Okay, looks good. We're done. I give Mrs. O a lot of credit throughout the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. She has not killed a single child yet, even though they're all home. Snow. What is today, like April 10th or something? I don't know. We're in the second week of April. Freaking snow. It's my fault because I took care of my snowplow. Even though we're not going to get enough snow to plow. This lady's going to be in love. Before we'd be like, oh my God, no! It wasn't quite that bad, but it was pretty bad, let me tell you what. Let's go down the old North Maple Run. Oh, she's gonna be in love with it. I'm actually kind of in love with this thing a little bit. It was so horrendous between the rear wheel bearings and, you know, no brakes. It was so awful. Yeah, the old crow eating the garbage. Crows around here are pretty smart. If I bring garbage from home to work, which is what we do, I put it in the dumpster. If I leave it in my truck out back, I was thinking crows will be out back in my truck eating garbage. Scare the crap out of you too when you walk out to go home and a bunch of crows blast up out of the back of your truck. It's happened. It made me pee a little. Oh, we need to cycle the park and brake. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, that works good. Better than I expected. Yeah, because you got to remember to brake in your park and brake shoes also. So we'll do that again. One click. And get them babies burnished in. Start to anyways. Hopefully the lady uses her park and brake every time she parks. You get in that habit, then you never have to worry about them, you know, seizing up. All that hoopla. What tires did I put on it? Did you guys ask that? General Grabber HTS 60s, one of my all-time favorite tires. If I'm gonna recommend an HT style SUV tire, highway tread, the Grabber HTS 60, pretty hard to beat. I think they rate them at 60K, at 60,000 miles, which, you know, you never get because tire manufacturers have, you know, inflated values that they go by, but these tires easily get 50K out of them, and most customers are very satisfied. You know, you get 50K out of a 60K tire, that's pretty dang good. Oh, you want to hit the garbage can? You want to hit the garbage can? You want to hit the garbage can? We're not going to hit the garbage can. Come on now, what do you think you're dealing with? We'll come back and get it. But as I was saying, the HTS 60, good tire, smooth. Nobody complains about their all-season type traction, even though they're, I don't think they have an M&S logo on them. But nobody complains about them. Got lots of customers that run these babies year-round on their four-wheel drives. or they're all-wheel drive SUVs. Everybody loves them. They usually come back and buy more. And right now at South Main Auto, there's a $70 mail-in rebate on them until the end of the month. Did I just give myself a plug? That won't make sense in about another month. I think I did. Oh, car coming. We gotta wait. And they're turning. Here we go. Honestly, he's gonna be so happy. Whole thing's kind of underpowered. There she blows. The wind's cranking today. Can't see very far. Trying to predict about 1/8 mile visibility. Of course, it's hard to tell if we got any poles or anything because the wind's blowing so bad. Really. Whoa! Oh, the brakes are smooth like butter. Go up here to the church and turn around. AUM, we call it, Avoca United Methodist, right here. Used to be next to my shop, believe it or not. Then it burnt down. Back when I was, I don't know, how old was I, 17 or 18, I remember come watch her. Burned to the ground. Kitchen fire started there somehow, in the basement. Burned all the way down to the basement to the steeple. That was a big fire. Actually melted the siding on the side of my building. I guess it wasn't my building at the time, it was my old man's. But the melted siding is still there. I'll show it to you, just in case you guys don't believe me. Of course, there are no more church services around here because of COVID-19. The little church me and Vanessa go to, it's a community church, and we do our church service now online. What is it called? It's an app. An app we use. Everybody meets, you know, it's a small congregation anyways. There's only probably 15, 16 people that meet up. Pastor Rob, and that's that. So it's kind of weird online, but we do what we got to do. And I know there's a lot of places that are meeting like that now. Zoom, using the Zoom app, there you go. But I guess that's getting pirated now. People are breaking in and putting up naughty pictures and things like that. That's what they tell me. In my opinion, the COVID has already affected everyone. It's made ugly people uglier, mean people meaner, gracious people more gracious, kind people more kind. So, it's hit everyone. So let's see. What were we talking about? We're talking about where the church used to be. Right here, right where the billboard is, and that little white sign out front. That used to be Avoca United Methodist Church, where the big green patch of grass is. Alright. And it melted down the siding on my building here. Let's go out here and see. Let me see if I can show you. And stop right about there. Alright, hold on. Let me move that up. Clear the wipers. Enhance. Enhance. Whoa, stop. Turn to the right. Everything's locked up. Turn to the right some more. So right there, the old siding's still melted. And it only melted, you know, bits of it because the car wash blocked most of it. But yeah, I remember the old Avoca Foundry Fire Department being down here, spraying down my dad's building and the car wash. And, you know, church was just roasting. But yep, it used to be over here in where the lot is. And that White House there, that's still the parsonage. So, yeah, fun fact for you. Now I guess we better bring this thing in and slap an inspection sticker on it, because it does not have one of those. We just drove it uninspected. See if my boy Josh will let us in. after a bunch of work like that you just come in and give her another look over. Make sure everything looks hunky-dory, no peeing out of that new caliper. Kind of review in your mind everything you've done. Go over stuff. Did I tighten this bolt? Did I tighten that bolt? Did I put the tires on? Stuff like that. Make sure everything looks good. Looks shiny over there. Of course, those were some used pads, so they may not be hitting 100% even yet until they break in. Everything looks good there. Looks good and snotty. I did check the parking brake out in the parking lot because that's where you use your parking brake, and that works good. It holds the vehicle quite well. Actually, once it's at a stop, you almost got to floor it to make it move. I think we got some good evenness there. All right. Tightened up everything, right? Sway bar links are tight, everything's tight. Inspection stickers on it. I'm happy, you're happy. All right, let's call this lady. First car to take a ride on a new lift too. Good project for the first project, I guess. You call it a project. I call it every day, normal stuff. Oil is full. Coolant's full, I already went through all the fluids. Belt's still on, didn't fall off. Inspection stickers on, just need to stick an oil change sticker on it. We're done. Well, that's it for the Hyundai Santa Fe build project video series. I think we only got 2 or 3 videos out of this now. It was my anticipation at the beginning, we're gonna show everything. Everything, spark plug, oil change, sway bar links, the washing process, the whole deal. And then, well, frankly, life caught up with me. It was pretty unrealistic for me to do, so I tried to record bits of what we did along the way that might be helpful. I think we ended up with the front brakes and pulling the bearings and doing the dust shields and the same thing in the rear and the parking brake shoes and all that stuff. So it's all pretty routine stuff, nothing too overly difficult. I think when we were in the back though, not being able to take that whole knuckle off, we could have taken the whole knuckle off. But if you can meddle, not meddle with stuff that you don't have to, and think outside the box a little, sometimes that's the better method. If I wasn't getting paid by the hour and it was my own project at home, yeah, we would have taken every bolt off and all that and whatever. So, because I know I always get a lot of comments about that. So anyways, speaking of comments, why don't you guys go down there and leave a comment, question, criticism, concern. While you're down there, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all the other buttons that make sure you get SMA notifications. Find us on our socials, Facebook and the other one, Patreon. Not Patreon, we're on Patreon, but Instagram, we're an Insty. I don't know how you find me there, just go on there and look for Self-Made Auto, I guess. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.